Have you ever wished you had a metal die that had just a little bit more, or perhaps a little less, of a finished size? Well, stay with me while I show you a simple technique to change your die's finished size in just a couple of easy steps. Hi, I'm Karen Summy with Karen's Blue Ridge Stamping and an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! Die cutting is one of my favorite techniques in paper crafting. I love the precision of a die cut to dress up my cards and other paper projects, but sometimes I need a die that is just slightly different in size than I have in my studio. So I take just a couple of additional steps to get exactly what I want. Here's how. The rectangle stitch dies are one of my favorite sets. In this sample, the metal die is wide enough for the greeting I stamped, but it simply isn't tall enough. If I go to the next larger die size, the overall cut is just too big for my card design. So the ability to change the size and shape of the cut is really important to me here. To get the die cut size I want, I carefully place the die over my greeting. In this example, I line up the bottom of the metal die with the bottom of the greeting, while also ensuring I have the greeting centered from left to right as well. Because I want to keep this cut as straight as possible, I use some post-it labeling and cover-up tape to secure the metal die to the paper. This is a low-tack tape, and as the name suggests, has approximately the same tackiness as a typical post-it note. This tape is widely available online or through your local big box office supply store. When I have the die secured to the paper, I use my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with plates 1 and 2 as directed for a standard die cut. To get my paper in the proper orientation to the machine, I trim away the excess width of paper so that it'll fit into the mini embossing machine easily. The next step may take a little practice, but once you've done it once or twice, you'll understand the concept and be able to complete the process easily. Be sure to line up the plates perfectly square with the machine so that everything will roll through the machine as it should. Then the important thing to know about changing your die cut shape is that you will make 2 passes to cut the die. For each pass, you'll cut only part way around the metal die. Note here that the top cutting plate is only partially covering the metal die. Anything that is not covered by the top cutting plate will not cut your paper. It takes both cutting plates to meet up with the roller in the machine to make a cut. As you can see, the offset of the plates makes it a little tough for the entire sandwich to go through the roller head. You can apply some pressure, but be careful with this maneuver so that you don't cause damage to your machine. Now that we've completed the first pass, here's what you should see. The bottom of the image has been cut, but you need a second pass to complete the full die cut. Adjust the die on the paper so that the remainder of your stamped image is visible inside the die. By sliding the die across the paper, you can feel them lock into place together. In this example, they only lock on each side of the greeting, not at the bottom where a cut's already been made. Once the paper and die are locked in place, secure the two once again with low-tack tape. Now you're ready for your second pass through the die cutting machine. Just as you did with your first pass, you'll place the top cutting plate only partially over the metal die. Be sure that the end that has already been cut does not have the top cutting plate over that part of the die. Only the end that you want to cut should have both cutting plates. Make the second pass through the die cutting machine. Now you should have a fully cut image in just the size you want. Notice how much larger the paper is than the die you used. In my second example, I'll use a similar process, but this time I'll reduce the size of the die cut instead of enlarging it. This greeting actually fit the metal die just perfectly, but I wanted to show you that you can tighten it up a little by changing the die cut slightly. Instead of centering my greeting inside the die, I moved the stamped image to the left end, as you can see inside the die. Once again, I secured the die to the paper with low-tack tape. I placed the top cutting plate on the die so that the right end of the die was not covered. As you can see, the right end has not yet been cut. To shorten the die cut, I simply adjusted the metal die on the paper so that the right end of the greeting was close to the edge of the metal die and locked the two together as I felt them slide into place. I secured the pieces with tape and placed them in the die cut machine. And here's my result. As you can see, when comparing the original size with the adjusted size, I have shortened the greeting to match my desired design. Now, I would love to tell you that you'll get this right the very first time you try it, but you may want to try it first with some scrap paper before using your good cardstock. I have no doubt that a couple of tries will soon have you changing all sorts of dies to suit your design needs, and while this works well on metal dies with straight sides, using the technique for ovals, circles, or other non-straight dies would be a real challenge. I hope you'll give this a try as you stretch what your dies will do and save yourself some money in the process. If you've enjoyed today's video, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up and a positive comment below the video. If you'd like to see more on my YouTube channel, be sure to click the subscribe button and the notification bell if you'd like to be informed whenever I upload new content. Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy stamping, and may God bless and keep you.